Let's now discuss about JK flip-flop. The basic SR NAND flip-flop circuit has many advantages and it is being used in the sequential logic circuit. But it suffers from two basic switching problems. The first problem is when set and reset are equal to 0, this condition should be avoided. The second is if set or reset change state while the enable input is high, the correct latching action might not occur. Then, to overcome these two fundamental design problems, with the SR flip-flop design, the JK flip-flop was developed. The simple JK flip-flop is the most widely used of all the flip-flop designs and is considered to be a universal flip-flop circuit. The two inputs labeled J and K are autonomous letters, chosen by its inventor Jack Kilby. It is basically to distinguish the flip-flop design from the other types. The sequential operation of the JK flip-flop is exactly the same as for the previous SR flip-flop with the same set and the reset inputs. The difference this time is that the JK flip-flop has no valid or forbidden input states of the SR latch even when S and R are both at logic 1. The JK flip-flop is basically a gated SR flip-flop with the addition of a clock input circuitry that prevents the illegal or the invalid output condition that can occur when both inputs S and R are equal to logic 1. Due to this additional clocked input, a JK flip-flop has 4 possible input combinations, that is logic 1, logic 0, no change and toggle. The symbol for a JK flip-flop is similar to that of an SR bisable latch except for the addition of a clock input. The behavior of the inputs J and K is same as the SR inputs of the SR flip-flop. The letter J stands for set and the letter K stands for clear. When both inputs J and K have a high state, the flip-flop switches to the complement state. So, for a value Q equal to 1, it switches Q equal to 0, and for a value of Q equal to 0, it switches to Q equal to 1. The circuit includes two 3-input AND gates. The output Q of the flip-flop is written back as a feedback to the input of the AND gate along with the other inputs like K and the clock pulse. So, if the value of the clock pulse is 1, the flip-flop gets a clear signal and with the condition that the value of the Q was earlier 1. Similarly, output Q of the flip-flop is given as a feedback to the input of the AND along with the other inputs like J and the clock pulse. So, the output becomes set when the value of clock pulse is 1 only if the value of Q was earlier 1. The output may be repeated in transitions once they have been complemented for J and K equal to 1 because of the feedback connection in the JK flip-flop. This can be avoided by setting a time duration lesser than the propagation delay through the flip-flop. The input condition J and K equal to 1 gives an output inverting the output state. In simple words, if J and K data are different, then the output Q takes the value of J at the next clock edge. If J and K both are low, then there is no change which occurs. If J and K are both high at the clock edge, then the output will toggle from one state to the other. JK flip-flop can function as set or reset flip-flop. Let's look at T flip-flop. So, T flip-flop is also known as toggle flip-flop. To avoid the occurrence of the intermediate state in the SR flip-flop, we should provide only one input to the flip-flop which is called as the trigger input or it is sometimes called as the toggle input. Then the flip-flop acts as a toggle switch. Toggling means changing the next state output to complement of the present state output. T flip-flop, by making simple modification to the JK flip-flop, the T flip-flop can be formed. The T flip-flop is a single unit device and hence by connecting J and K inputs together and giving them with single input called T, we can convert a JK flip-flop into a T flip-flop. So, a T flip-flop is sometimes called as the single input JK flip-flop. The logic symbol of a T flip-flop shown has one toggle input and one clock input signal. Let's look at the construction of a T flip-flop. A T flip-flop can be constructed by connecting AND gates as input to the NOR gate SR latch, and these AND gate inputs are fed back with the present state output which is Q and its complement which is Q bar to each AND gate. A toggle input is connected in common to both the AND gates as an input. The AND gates are also connected with the common clock signal. In the T flip-flop, a pulse train of narrow triggers are provided as input T, which will cause the change in the output state of the flip-flop. So, these flip-flops are also called the toggle flip-flops. The circuit diagram of a T flip-flop constructed from an SR latch is being considered. Similarly, a T flip-flop can be constructed by modifying the D flip-flop. In D flip-flop, the output Q previous is XORed with the T input and given at the D input. The circuit of a T flip-flop constructed from a D flip-flop is being considered. The simplest of the constructions of a T flip-flop is the JK flip-flop. The J input and the K input of a JK flip-flop are connected together and provided with the T input. The logic circuit of a T flip-flop constructed from a JK flip-flop will be considered. The operation of the T flip-flop is when the T input is low, when the next state of the T flip-flop is same as the present state. When T is equal to 0 and the present state is 0, then the next state is equal to 0. If T equal to 1 and the present state equal to 1, then the next state is equal to 1. When the T input is high and during the positive transition of the clock signal, the next state of the T flip-flop is nothing but the inverse of the previous state. When the T input is high and during the positive transition of the clock signal, the next state of the T flip-flop is the inverse of the present state. When T equal to 1 and the present state equal to 0, then the next state is 1. Next case is T equal to 1 and the present state equal to 1, then the next state is 0. As each incoming trigger alternatively changes the set and reset inputs, the flip-flop toggles. So, to complete one full cycle of the output waveform, it needs two triggers. This means that the T flip-flop produces the output at exactly half of the frequency of the input frequency. So, a T flip-flops will act as frequency divider circuit. This is one of the applications of the T flip-flop. Next, we will look into shift registers. Flip-flops can be used to store a single bit of binary data, it might be 0 or 1. However, in order to store multiple bits of data, we need multiple flip-flops. N flip-flops are connected in order to store n bits of data. A register is a device which is used to store such information. Shift registers are sequential logic circuits which are capable of storage and transfer of data. These are made up of flip-flops which are connected in such a way that the output of one flip-flop could serve as the input of the other flip-flop. It all depends on the type of the shift registers being created. Shift registers are basically a type of register which have the ability to transfer, which is nothing but shift the data. Registers are generically storage devices which are created by connecting a specific number of flip-flops together in series, and the amount of data which can be stored by the register is always directly proportional to the number of flip-flops. As each flip-flop is capable of storing only one bit at a time, when the flip-flops in a register are connected in such a way that the output of one flip-flop becomes the input of the other, a shift register is created. Flip-flops are devices with an operation which is similar to that of a latch. It can be referred to as a bistable vibrator which can move between 0 state and the 1 state, and it is capable of storing data in bits. New data is read into a flip-flop with each clock cycle and the previous data sent at the output. This, however, depends on the kind of flip-flop, as the input, output and the clock cycle relationships between flip-flops vary. There are different kinds of flip-flops, but the most commonly used in the creation of the shift registers are nothing but the D flip-flops. For the operation of D flip-flops, which makes them so desirable for shift registers, whenever there is a change on the clock of a D flip-flop, it might be a rising edge or a falling edge depending on the specifications of the flip-flop. The data output Q becomes the same data as the one at the input D. The output Q of the flip-flop will stay at that value until the next clock cycle, where it will then change again to the value at the input. The registers which will shift the bits to left are called as left shift registers. The registers which shift the bits to the right are called as right shift registers. For the operation of the D flip-flops, which makes them so desirable for shift registers, whenever there is a change on the clock of a D flip-flop, the data at the output Q becomes the same data as the one at the input. The output Q of the flip-flop will stay at that value until the next clock cycle. Whenever it will change, then again the value will be set back to the input. Shift register ICs are generally provided with a clear or reset connection so that they can be set or reset as required. Generally, shift registers operate in one of the four being, that is serial in, parallel out, serial in, serial out, parallel in, serial out, and the last one is parallel in, parallel out. Serial in, parallel out, it is also called as SIPO. The register is loaded with serial data one bit at a time, with the stored data being available at the output in a parallel form. This shift register allows serial input, that is one bit after the other through a single data line, and produces a parallel output known as serial in, parallel out shift register. The logic circuit shows a serial in, parallel out shift register. The circuit consists of 4 D flip-flops which are connected. The clear signal is connected in addition to the clock signal to all the 4 flip-flops in order to reset them. The output of the first flip-flop is connected to the input of the next flip-flop, and so on. All these flip-flops are synchronous with each other since the same clock signal is applied to each of the flip-flops. They are used in communication lines where demultiplexing of a data line into several parallel lines is required, because the main use of SIPO register is to convert serial data into parallel data. So next in series is your serial in, serial out. The data is shifted in serially and out of the register, one bit at a time, in either the left or the right direction under the clock control. This shift register allows serial input, that is one bit after the other through a single data line, and produces a serial output which is known as serial in, serial out shift register. Since there is only one output, the data leaves the shift register one bit at a time in serial pattern. Thus the name serial in, serial out shift register. The logic circuit shows a serial in, serial out shift register. The circuit consists of 4 D flip-flops which are connected in a serial manner. All these flip-flops are synchronous with each other since the same clock is being applied to each and every flip-flop. The circuit is an example of shift right register taking the serial data input from the left side of the flip-flop. The main uses of a SISO is to act as a delay element. So next in line is parallel in, serial out. The parallel data is loaded into the register simultaneously and is shifted out of the register serially one bit at a time under the clock control. The shift register allows parallel input, that is the data is given separately to each of the flip-flop and in a simultaneous manner, and it produces a serial output which is known as parallel in, serial out shift register. The logic circuit shows a parallel in, serial out shift register. The circuit consists of 4 D flip-flops which are connected. The clock input is directly connected to all the flip-flops, but the input data is connected individually to each flip-flop through a multiplexer at the output of every flip-flop. The output of the previous flip-flop and parallel data input are connected to the input of the mux, and the output of the mux is connected to the next flip-flop. All these flip-flops are synchronous with each other since the same clock signal is applied to each of the flip-flops. A parallel in, serial out shift register is used to convert parallel data to serial data. Lastly, we have parallel in, parallel out. The parallel data is loaded simultaneously into the register and it is transferred together to their respective outputs by the same clock pulse. This shift register allows parallel input, that is the data is given separately to each flip-flop and it in a simultaneous manner. And it also produces a parallel output which is known as parallel in, parallel out shift register. The logic circuit shows a parallel in, parallel out shift register. The circuit consists of 4 D flip-flops which are connected. The clear signal and the clock signals are connected to all the 4 flip-flops. In this type of register, there are no interconnections between the individual flip-flops, since no serial shifting of the data is required. Data is given as input separately for each of the flip-flop, and in the same way, output also collected individually from each of the flip-flops. A parallel in, parallel out shift register is used as a temporary storage device, and like SISO shift register, it acts as a delay element. Next, we'll look into counters. In digital logic and computing, a counter is a device which stores the number of times a particular event or a process has occurred, often in a relationship to a clock signal. Counter is a sequential circuit. A digital circuit which is used for counting pulses is known as a counter. Counter is the widest applications of the flip-flops. It is nothing but a group of flip-flops with a clock signal applied. The counters are used in digital electronics for counting purpose. They can count specific event happening in the circuit. For example, in an up counter, a counter increases the count for every rising edge of the clock. Not only counting, a counter can follow certain sequence based on our own design, like any random sequence like 0, 1, 3, 2, anything. They can also be designed with the help of flip-flops. Counters can be categorized into two ways: synchronous counters, asynchronous counters. Coming to asynchronous counters, so these are those counters whose output is free from the clock signal, because the flip-flops in asynchronous counters are supplied with different clock signals. There may be delay in the producing the outputs. The required number of logic gates to design asynchronous counters is very less, so they are simple in design. As it is simple in design, they use less number of logic gates to construct an asynchronous counter. Another name for asynchronous counters is nothing but the ripple counter. A 4-bit asynchronous up counter with D flip-flop is as shown in the diagram. It is capable of counting numbers from 0 to 15. The clock inputs of all flip-flops are cascaded, and the D input of each flip-flop is connected to a state output of the flip-flop. That means flip-flops will toggle at each active edge or the positive edge of the clock signal. The clock input is connected to the first flip-flop. The other flip-flops in the counter receive the clock signal input from Q bar output of the previous flip-flop. The output of the first flip-flop will change when the positive edge on the clock signal occurs. In the asynchronous 4-bit up counter, the flip-flops are connected in toggle mode. So when the clock input is connected to the first flip-flop, that is FF0, then its output after the one clock pulse will become 20. The rising edge of the Q output of each flip-flop triggers the clock input of its next flip-flop. It triggers the next clock frequency to half of its applied input. The Q outputs of every individual flip-flop, Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, represents the count of the 4-bit up counter, such as 2 power 0 to 2 cube, that is nothing but 8. So working of asynchronous up counter. Let us assume that the 4 Q outputs of the flip-flops are initially all are zeros. When the rising edge of the clock pulse is applied to FF0, then the output Q0 will change to logic 1, and the next clock pulse will change the Q0 output to logic 0. This means the output state of the clock pulse toggles for one cycle. As the Q bar of FF0 is connected to the clock input of FF1, then the clock input of the second flip-flop will become 1. This makes the output of FF1 to be high, which indicates the value 2 power 0.